Good afternoon. How are we all feeling after lunch? Oh, come on, you can do better than that. Come on! I stink of chicken, but wasn't it marvellous? Now, it's a good job you're over there, and I'm over here. Now, you've been absolutely amazing this morning. I know there's a lot of information, a lot of content, but your dedication to this has been fantastic, and it's been so lovely to meet some of you during the break, and I hope you enjoyed your breakout sessions and your lunch. And yeah, let's get cracking with the second half of the day. Now, I'd like to introduce next Janet Daby, MP. She is the Minister for Children, Families and Wellbeing of the United Kingdom. Janet has served as a Member of Parliament for Lewisham East since 2018, and she has served as a Parliamentary Under-Secretary of State in the Department for Education since July 2024. She previously worked in a volunteer management and children's social care, acting as a registered fostering manager. She founded the Whitefoot and Downham Community Food Project in 2013. Janet, can you come and join us on the stage? Now, Janet, is it Janet Daby or Daby?
Daby.
Oh, I knew it was. Baby Daby. Over to you.
Thank you so much. You feel a bit like a celebrity when you walk past here like that. I felt like I should have, done a performance or something. But on a serious note, it's a real pleasure to be here. It's such a delight to be speaking to you all and to be invited by Fatima. For anybody that knows Fatima, she's a formidable person. She's full of drive and determination, and I can see why she was a gold medalist, absolutely. And it's really great, her passion in this area. Now, it's an honour for me to be here with so many leading experts and passionate practitioners who are dedicated to improving outcomes for looked after children and indeed care leavers. And as a former children and family social worker myself for over 15 years, this is a subject I remain indeed very passionate about. And I'm delighted and proud to be part of a government that is making such a significant difference for children. Children's social care really does have the power to transform lives, yet we know that looked after children and young people leaving care often face poorer outcomes than their peers. This is not right. It needs to change, and it must change. And do you agree with me, everybody? I know it's that after lunch period, so I'm just making sure you're with me. I want to make sure that every child has the experience of having a loving home, feel safe, and within a family, whatever the family's shape or form, whether it's with birth parents, extended family, foster carers, adoptive parents, or a care home. We are determined to break down the barriers to opportunity for our children and young people. And this includes breaking the link between background and success, so that where you start in life doesn't determine what you make of your life. Unfortunately, the challenges faced in care can sometimes cast a long shadow into adulthood, affecting health, housing, education, and employment outcomes for care leavers. And this needs to be addressed, and we are addressing this. And I know that so many of you are really doing your best and have been doing your best for many years, and I thank you for all of your work in these areas. In November, we published Keeping Children Safe, Helping Families Thrive. It sets out how we will rebalance the children's social care system to improve outcomes for children and families, children in care and care leavers. It is guided by 4 principles. Children should remain with their families and out of the care system as far as this is possible. And where children cannot remain at home, we should support them to live with kinship carers or in fostering families. We will we will fix the broken care market and tackle profiteering by private children's homes. We will invest in the structures that keep children's social care system moving, and these include the workforce, family courts, inspections, and data sharing. There is actually a lot of work to do. In December, we introduced the Children's Wellbeing and Schools Bill, which will establish many of these important changes in law. I believe in the importance of early prevention and community support for families. And while I was a local councillor, I was involved in setting up the Whitefoot and Downham Community Food Project. It had citizens' advice, it had housing support, it had mental health, a cooking club, there was nutritionists, there was even a nurse on hand. There were many, many other services, and it was like a type of one-stop shop, where it meant that people could come and get food provision, but they could also come and access the very many services and supports that they needed. And I did this working with community people, recognising that more needed to be done, and we need to make sure that services were accessible and easy for families and for individuals. People that were struggling were able to get the help that they needed. And our ambition is for a high-quality system that places children and families at the centre of its design. Services will prioritise supporting the whole family and intervening at the earliest opportunity to prevent challenges escalating. Now, we have around 400 family hubs operating across 75 local authorities, and they are there to make sure they're providing a type of one-stop shop where families can go and access the support that they need. But they're growing and more needs to be done in these areas. And I know many of you will already be familiar with the family hubs and various support centres like this. And from this month, we are making over 500 million available to local authorities across the country, more than doubling direct investment in preventative services. This additional funding will be used to support the rollout of family help, multi-agency child protection and family group decision-making reforms through the Families First Partnership Programme. We want these reforms to mark a step change in how services are delivered locally and make a tangible difference to children and families' lives. And where children cannot remain with their families, as I've already said, we are supporting them where possible to live with kinship carers or in foster families. And foster carers are like gold dust, but we need so many more of them. Through their compassion and dedication, they bring children into their lives and into their homes, providing a stable, loving environment for children to reach their potentials. Foster families deserve to be valued and respected for what they do every day for our most vulnerable children. In recent years, we have seen a fall in the number of foster carers, and we do need this to change. Too often, the right fostering home is not available for children who need it, who may instead end up living too far away from their community or in a setting that may not meet all of their needs and indeed need to move away from their school. We are investing more in foster care to tackle this. And in the autumn budget, the Chancellor announced 15 million of investment into foster care. In the recent spring statement, this was extended with a further 25 million of additional investment from 2026 to 2028. We've already started to make progress on reforming how foster carers are recruited. And I want to encourage you all here to really, where you can make a difference in speaking to somebody or even considering it yourself or even the work that you're doing in this area, see where we can continue to recruit foster carers. We're setting up regional recruitment hubs. We've set up and cover 64% of local authorities in England. We've also invested in programmes that can raise awareness about fostering and support prospective foster carers. And we're now offering other councils in England the chance to take up these programmes too. For anyone out there who's considering the next stage of their lives, I encourage them to contact their local fostering hub or indeed their council. Foster carers deserve respect and support as they carry out this vital role. And one example of this is our investment in the Mockingbird family model, which I've seen firsthand. This is an innovative and evidence-based approach involving a group of families in one constellation, all supported by a hub home carer. I'm not sure how many people here have heard about the Mockingbird. I've seen a little hand go up there. And if you haven't, I just encourage you to learn more about it. It's absolutely amazing. Carers on Mockingbird receive peer support, respite and training. They come together to support one another and they're like a big extended family where children and carers themselves feel well supported and part of a community. Now, we know there's still more to do, and my invitation, again, to everyone in this room is to work with me to recruit more foster carers. Do you think you can do that, everybody? Do you want to give me a nod? Yes. I've got a really big, loud yes here, so maybe I should become a foster carer. I don't know. But anyway, working with the same aim and same goal is really important. Now, I welcome your views on anything that we can do to recruit, to respect, and to celebrate more foster carers. We are determined to ensure the very best life chances for all children, and fostering is obviously one of those. To break down the barriers for those in care, virtual school heads play a key role in promoting the educational achievement of children in care. They do tremendous work to narrow the attainment gap and champion the educational needs of these children. We already have the positive impact of the post-16 pupil Premium Plus funding that we have provided to virtual school heads. We are also working to make the extended virtual school head role for children with a social worker and children in kinship care statutory through the Children's Wellbeing and Schools Bill. Stable support networks and loving relationships are so important in helping children in care and care leavers to thrive. And with this in mind, we are funding 50 family-finding, befriending and mentoring programs across 45 local authorities. Now, with regards to the outcomes for care leavers, it pains me that care leavers have some of the worst long-term outcomes in society. This includes care leavers aged between 19 to 21 who are 3 times more likely not to have a job, not to be in education or training compared to the general population. Only 6% of care leavers progress onto university, only 2% onto apprenticeships, and care leavers are overrepresented in the adult prison population. Every week, as a government minister, I'm speaking and talking about care leavers and the change and the difference that needs to take place here. They are overrepresented in homelessness and rough sleeping. They are more likely to experience loneliness and poor emotional health and well-being. Care-experienced adults are 4 to 5 times more likely to attempt suicide than their peers. So clearly, so much more needs to be done. And across government, this is very serious, and we are working to improve this. Now, through the Children's Wellbeing and Schools Bill, we are rolling out Staying Close nationally so that where their welfare requires it, care leavers can receive support to find and maintain accommodation alongside emotional and practical support. The bill will also strengthen the way leaving care and housing teams work together to find appropriate accommodation for care leavers. Now, I know in many local authorities up and down across our country, local authorities are doing some excellent work in terms of supporting care leavers, but it shouldn't be down to a postcode lottery. Care leavers need to know that they will get consistent support. And in our bill, we will ensure that no eligible care leaver can be denied social housing on the grounds that they have become homeless intentionally. We're also working closely with the Department of Health and Social Care to identify how the NHS can better support the health of children in care and care leavers, including improving collaboration with children's social care. There should be no doubt about this government's determination to deliver better outcomes for children and young people. Every young person, including children in care and care leavers, should have every opportunity to succeed, no matter who they are. It is by working together that we achieve this. It is by breaking the link between background and success that we will deliver better chances for all children. And I thank you that you are with me on this as we do this journey together and as we improve the outcomes for children and young people. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Janet. In all seriousness, I know you said I've got a big mouth, and would I become a foster carer? No, Janet, honestly, I don't know if I can have children because of what I told you about earlier on with the eating disorder that I went through. So I'm 41 soon, and that time for me might be over. And I've always thought and resigned myself to the fact that I'm only ever going to be a dog mum. And don't get me wrong, Ruby, my little schnoodle, is amazing. But there's always been something in me thinking, can I possibly ever look? Okay, but you know what though, seriously, I've always resigned myself to the fact that I will never have children in my life. And actually from today, what I'm learning is that I have so much love to give. And I urge any of you to think about that and break away from the stigma. And even though it is a challenging system, to break through that. So thank you for that, Janet, and everybody so far, because I've definitely taken away something. Now, whether I'd be a good mum or not, I mean, that's another one for another day.